What it do, team? Dang, I could have sworn I grabbed me another water. Are you having to bring me a water? Yeah. I thought I grabbed it. I'm tripping. Dre, what it do? Appreciate you. Let y'all pal in. What's up, team? What's up, family? What's up, family? I gotta give me a second, man. I'm trying to get my water in order. I just got to eat some yogurt, you feel me? Plus, I'm gonna give y'all a second to pal in anyway. But y'all know today we finna touch on his history and his religion spell, for real. What it do? Oh yeah, y'all know we finna get busy. We ain't even finna mess around. I just gotta get my water, and then we taking off. We taking right off, y'all. I already got the PowerPoint pulled up and everything, you feel me? That's cool. That's better than That's better than nothing. Feel me? I need this. For real. Peace, God. So look, let's get to it though. Boom. So we got it pulled up. We got to pull right up. What is history? All right. I would have been in here, but y'all know how Facebook like to do when they do what they do, man. It don't be me. It be Facebook, team. You feel me? It don't be me. It be Facebook, all right? So I got the slide pulled up. You feel me? We finna get right to work. We ain't even gonna mess around with them. We ain't gonna mess around with them, y'all. We ain't finna play with them today. Not today. I would have been in here. Y'all already know how we go. This is why we got to get the YouTube popping, because y'all already know how we go. You feel me? Y'all know how we go. That's why I'm going to let y'all pal in, because I know y'all was looking for 3, and I ain't going to just take off. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. You feel me? I ain't going to just take off on y'all like that, man. Good energy. It's great energy today. Y'all feel me? It's great energy today. So look, let's get started, right? So first, let me open up this lecture with the right spiritual energy. Peace to the gods and goddesses tuned in today. As y'all know, we've been already working through multiple spells. We done did the time, money, etc., 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 etc. All right. Today, hold on, let me show y'all. Today, we on the history spell, right? Now we started. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit, class. All right. We started with the different spells used to keep the Black/Latinos in a deep sleep. That's what we started with, right, class? That's where we was at, all right? So now, we finally made it, y'all. We finally made it, y'all. It's been a long time coming, but we here now. We here. We finally at the last of the spell, so we can move on to the origin story and other different things in the class. You feel me? So let me show y'all. Let me flip it around. Y'all know I got the PowerPoint ready for y'all. We ain't come to play today. Friday was just a cosmic update. I will be giving those more often. All right? But we going to do these lectures every Wednesday and Sunday. Longest Facebook ain't in our groove. You see what I'm saying? And once we get to 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we all the way gone. Matter of fact, let me pin the channel real quick before we take off. Because, see, we ain't come to fuck around today. People got to know this. History. Hold on, let me pin the channel. Y'all. How y'all feeling, though? Cosmic tell us. All right, there you go. We pent. Now, listen. Hold on, let me pin it. All right, there you go. We pent. Now, listen, y'all. We all know the bullshit. Hold on. We all know the bullshit ain't fit us in history. We ain't even got to, we know. We We know. You know what I'm saying? And this actual lesson almost took a month just to get through the history religion lesson. And I had to slow down, y'all. I had to say, hold on, I'm not finna get them that much information. Some of this information, I'm gonna need y'all to go home. Go home. Y'all at home, all right? Most people is working from home, all right? So I'm gonna need y'all, while y'all at home, to research some of this on y'all own time. You get what I'm saying? Especially with this history, because this history run deep. But I'm gonna touch on I'm gonna grab it for y'all today. We gonna grab it. We gonna grab it, all right? We ain't gonna fuck with them. We ain't gonna play around with them, none of that. We gonna grab it, because see, too many of us don't really understand, you know, the value of history. Knowing one's history is everything, all right? It's essential to your mental health, all right? To the metaphysical you, the physical you, all right? So let's get right to it, though. Let's get right to it, class, all right? My pointer at. Well, this is going to be the pointer today. This is going to be the pointer, y'all. All right, so what is history? Note, pay attention, y'all. Pay attention to the pigmentation of everybody's faces as we work through this class today, as we work through this lesson, all right? Now, I'm letting y'all know, we ain't gonna fuck with them, though. We gonna run, I think, live let you go 4 hours. We finna run the whole 4. I'm already ate. I'm well rested. Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready. Because, see, the food spell, I was like, I had to get through it for y'all, you know, to make it make sense. But I was really looking forward to this history. Hey, I wanted to get to this history and this religion. You feel me? This what we get. This what we set ourselves free. All right? We have to set ourselves free. We have to set ourselves free. We have to break from these constructs, all right? History is the basis for which we understand the world around us. And today, we're going to debunk them, all right? We're going to use their platform to debunk them, all right? Also, I want to note, because somebody DM me, they was talking about Wikipedia. Let me know real quick before we take out class. I only go to Wikipedia to try to make it make sense to you all right? I don't want to lose anybody, okay? So I like to go to Wikipedia to try to use their man-made technology to decode their bullshit to the people, to the gods, to the goddesses. All right? So my information comes from within. My information comes from my ancestors. My information comes from meditating. And then I'm able to use their lies against them to prove to you guys where they're lying at. And we are all able to do this. So this is why I'm trying to get y'all in touch with this. But for us to liberate ourselves, we have to set ourselves free. Free from everything we was taught. All right? So let's go. Let's get right into it. What is history, class? What is history? Let's see. Let's see what Google has to say about what is history. All right? Let's go. We right into it. We ain't come to play, y'all. We ain't come to play. Let's do it. We ain't come to play. What is history? Because before we can say we know something, we only know what we was told, which was nothing. Let me repeat. We only know what we was told, which was nothing. All right? Your oppressors will never tell you the truth. We can't expect our oppressors to tell us the truth. So today we're going to find out the truth for ourselves. We're going to use these brains we were blessed with, okay? Because we not robots. They want us to be robots, y'all. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to ask no questions. They don't want you to send no emails. They just want you to believe. But see, we not in the age of belief no more, y'all. We not in that age. This is a different age. We in the age of Aquarius. We in the age of information. Let me repeat that. We have moved out of the age of belief. See, our ancestors are like our grandmothers and our grandparents. See, they didn't know what we know. If you was born after 1950 and back, you an indigo child or a crystal child or a rainbow. All right. So we a special generation that came back to do what we about to do, which is raise the vibration, the frequency of this planet. All right. So you have to understand that a lot of the things that we was taught was programs from our parents who learned from their parents. And we can't knock them. We're not knocking them at all. We respecting our elders. We respecting those that came before us in these avatar bodies, all right? Because I keep telling you all, these are just bodies in this realm, okay? In this realm, all right? We have other bodies in other dimensions as well. We are multi-dimensional beings. We are electrical beings. I keep breaking this down to you guys in the class so that you can understand the metaphysical you, all right? So today we on history, right? And let's look at the definition. We got it pulled up. I know we think we know, but let's just walk through it. We're going to walk through it, y'all. So what is history? History is the study of past events, particularly in human affairs. All right? I'll repeat. Let me read that again. We just researching what they have to say, because let's keep in mind, people, Google, we know who own Google, the reptilians. We know who own Facebook, the reptilians. So when we looking up stuff on these platforms, please be mindful of that as well. That's why you have to go within you. I repeat, I keep telling you, class, you have to go within you. That's what was taken from us during the transatlantic slave trade. All right, and today we're going to get into how blacks and Latinos are not actually blacks and Latinos. How, because like I keep saying, a lot of black people have been hitting me up through these lectures like, why you keep merging Latinos with us? I have had Latino people hit me up saying, we are not black. I get it. I get it. The programming has been placed in all of us, but today we're going to break down some of this programming. Now, if you refuse to believe the program, to accept the programming for what it is, then that makes you just a part of the matrix. And we not bowing down to no agents in this university. We do not support racism. We do not support sexism. All right. We do not support no forms of negative energy. So anything that I'm about to say before we delve deep into this lecture today, please do not take it as I'm being racist, because I'm not. And that's as politically correct as I'm going to get for y'all. I can't get no more politically correct for y'all, all right? That's all I'm going to do for y'all, okay? That's all I can do. Because we finna get real. And I'm not politically motherfucking correct, all right? Now that that's out the way, all right? All right, because I'm not sparing no feelings today. We not sparing no feelings. We didn't come to spare feelings. We came to get to the bottom of shit, okay? We didn't come to spare feelings. We came to get to the bottom of shit. Let's get to it. So the question that we had up on the PowerPoint class was, and pay attention, don't get lost in the sauce now. The agent's going to want y'all to get lost in the sauce in the comments. Pay attention. I can't be running it back for one person now. It's a whole class of people in here. We have to be mindful of others, all right? Let's get to it. What is history? That was the question right at the beginning of the PowerPoint. So we looked it up. Because we have what we've been blessed with, something called brains. All right. And we have souls and spirits. We have intuition. So let's use some of this, people. Let's use some of these basic gifts that were given to us that we have not been using while being in their system. OK, so when we look up the definition of history, it says that history is the study of past events, particularly in human affairs. OK, sounds basic enough. All right, let's scroll down a little bit. Let's stay focused. What does history explain? What does they say right here? They say history is the study of life in society in the past, all its aspects in relation to present developments and future hopes. It is the story of man in time. Remember, we are not man. We are not man. Pay attention to key words, all right? You can't just jump over words when you read. That's how they lose us. Every word they write, they mean. I repeat, every word they write, when y'all researching, right? Those of you who've been keeping up, who's been taking these lectures serious, when they write stuff down, they mean every word that they are writing down. So it's imperative that when we're researching behind these people, behind people who oppressed us, keep in mind words. And when they're saying man, all right, they're purposely keeping you in the process of believing that you are a man or human being at all times, all right? More tricknology, but let's keep it going. It is the story of man in time, an inquiry into the past based on evidence. Indeed, evidence is the raw material of history, teaching, and learning. Okay, cool. That sounds basic enough. Let's keep scrolling down. What is history in simple words? The branch of knowledge dealing with past events, a continuous systematic narrative of past events as relating to a particular people, country, period, person. Usually written as a chronological account, chronicle, a history of France, a medical history of the patient, the aggregate of past events. Bless you, honey. Bless you, honey. Yep. All right, let's stay focused, team. Let's stay focused, class. All right. What is history and why is it important? All right. We're going to scroll down to some of the things they saying about history. Okay. This is what they are saying, not me. All right. They say that studying history is important because studying history allows us to observe how people and societies behaved. For example, we are able to evaluate war, even when a nation is at peace, by looking back at previous events. History provides us with the data that is used to create laws or theories about various aspects of society. All right. What is history again? It provides us with the data that is used to create laws or theories about various aspects of society. Pay attention, class. We ain't did nothing yet. We ain't did nothing. We just grooving right now. We just crush grooving a little bit. We gonna crush groove through some of these questions. Cause see, when we looking up these things, we don't do what how they have this right here. People also ask. Okay, you need to be one of those people that's also asking some shit, all right? And you need to use technology. They got the questions for you to just click sometimes, all right? I repeat, how it says people also ask. You need to be one of those people that's also asking some shit, okay? Because without doing this, you cannot break down what history really is, which we will be finding out today. More technology along with religion. Let's stay focused, though, class. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused, all right? Let's keep going. What are the three types of history? Universal history is in the Western tradition is commonly divided into three parts: ancient, medieval, and modern times. All right. So let's click back to the PowerPoint, people. Here we go. We back. So we know what history is. Let's keep going. Now, what is prehistory? So once again, we need to find out what prehistory is. All right. Let's see what prehistory is. Let's see what prehistory is. Okay. Prehistory. The period of time, written records, myths that stretch back into prehistory. The events of or conditions leading up to a particular occurrence or phenomenon. All right. This is what prehistory is. Okay. I repeat. Pay attention to all these definitions that's being read right now because they're going to connect real soon. So pay attention to them. The period of time before written records. All right. The events or conditions leading up to a particular occurrence or phenomenon. That's prehistory. All right. This is what they telling us prehistory is. Stay focused, team. What are the three types of history? Because they already told us, but let's delve a little deeper. What are the three types? Because see, with history, y'all, we can't play around. We can't laugh and joke right now. We trying to figure out what's going on. All right, we need to get to the bottom of some things, and that's what we here to do right now. All right. So, what are the types of history? All right. Hold on. Don't do that. Don't do that, Google. Let's go back to what is history, because they pulled it up for us. We're going to click on Wikipedia, y'all. Stay focused, class. Stay focused. Stay focused. Cause see, you remember how the agents work, how the matrix work. Want you to lose focus. All right. Okay, so with history, right? History breaks down into, hold on. Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. All right. We're gonna do some reading today. We're gonna do some reading. All right. So, and I'm gonna read out loud today. Let's do it. More than I normally read out loud. Because see, today, we got to get to the bottom of this, y'all. And in history, I keep repeating, is one of the main reasons why the blacks and Latinos are walking around not knowing that they are gods and goddesses, believing that they are blacks and Latinos, all right? Along with religion, period. And whoever get mad, just get mad. That's on you. We're not here to make you feel good. We're here to kick facts. All right, let's do it. So, I'm going to read this out loud. History is the study of the past events occurring before the invention of writing systems are considered prehistory. This is what led us into asking, what was the question, class? Hold on. The question was what? Hold on, before we got to what are the three types of history, what is prehistory, right? That was the question, right? And that question, if you was wondering where that question came from, because when we asked the first question, what is history? When you read the first sentence on Wikipedia, we're going to use Wikipedia right now, y'all, for those who won't believe what I'm telling you, okay? History is the study of the past. Events occurring before the invention of writing systems are considered prehistory, okay? But let's keep going past that. History is an umbrella term that relates to past events as well as the memory, discovery, collection, organization, presentation, interpretation of information about these events. Historians place the past in context using historical sources such as written documents, they are writing, oral accounts, ecological markers, and material objects, including art and artifacts. All right? Now, they telling you right there, let me repeat, let's go back. They telling you right there what history is, okay? Events occurring before the invention of written systems are considered prehistory, okay? History is an umbrella term that relates to past events as well as the memory, okay, your memory, discovery, collection, organization, presentation, and interpretation of information about these events. All right? Now, hold on, stay focused, because you're going to see the history is broken up into 3 timelines, people. 3. I repeat, history is broken up into 3 separate timelines, all right? This is their history. Remember their history, their version of the story, people, all right? But we have to go through their version first, all right? We have to go through their version first to get to the bottom of the bullshit, all right? What are the 3 types of history? Let's pull them up. Ancient, medieval, and modern. All right? These are the 3 types of history. I repeat. Ancient, medieval, and modern are the 3 types of history that they telling us about, right? When they telling you about history and they teaching you in school all about history, all right? His story, okay? They are telling you all about ancient. History is broken up into 3 timelines, people. Ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay? Ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay? Hold on before we keep going. What is universal history? Hold on. Let's find out. Let's go to Google and find out what is universal history. Because, see, these are terminologies that some of us might not even be aware of. All right? What is universal history? Stay focused. What is universal history? All right. Let's click on what Wikipedia got to say about universal history. Okay. Here we go. A universal history is a work aiming at the presentation of history of all mankind as a whole coherent unit. Pay attention. A universal chronicle or world chronicle typically traces history from the beginning of written information about the past up to the present. Therefore, any work classed as such purportedly attempts to embrace the events of all times and nations and so far as scientific treatment of them is possible. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to break it down for y'all. Let's read what they saying first. Universal history is the Western. What's the Western? If you don't know, Western is the Spaniards. All right, Western is the Spaniards, the Americas, North America, South America, Canada. This is all considered Western civilization. If you didn't know, let's keep going though. For those who don't know, all right, universal history is the Western tradition. Universal history in the Western tradition is commonly divided into 3 parts. I was just telling y'all this. Ancient, hold on, let the camera focus. Ancient, medieval, and modern time. The division on ancient and medieval periods is less sharp or absent in the Arabic and Asian historiographies, okay? I repeat, the division on ancient and medieval periods is less sharp or absent in Arabic and Asian historiographies. They telling you right there. It's right there for y'all. You see it? Who are the Arabics and the Asians? Human beings, okay? Keep that in mind. So, when they breaking down history, they're telling you the history breaks down to ancient, medieval, and modern time. Okay? So them are the 3 forms of history. Alright? Hold on. Them the 3 forms of history. We moving a little bit, just a little, because we now know that the 3 forms of history is ancient, medieval, and modern times. Let that sink in y'all brain. I just told y'all we going 4 hours today. We gonna be getting deep. Don't forget it. I'm repeating it. I don't want nobody an hour later asking me what they missed. If you ain't get it, it ain't for you to get. You feel me? This is not for everybody. I always repeat that. You feel me? This ain't for everybody. If you ain't get it, it might not be for you to get it right now. All right? So, universal history, I keep repeating, because we're talking about what is history. We breaking down the history/religion spell, so we can't break down shit without knowing what these things are that we are talking about. All right? So, while looking at what is history, led us to prehistory, which led us to universal history. All right? And what is universal history? Universal history in the Western tradition. What is the Western? The Americas, where we are at now. All right? North, South America, Canada included. Okay? Universal history in the Western tradition is commonly divided into 3 parts. There go that number again. 3, 13, 3, 6, 9. What Tesla say, he who understands 3, 6, 9 know the secrets to the universe, because they understand us molecularly. I keep telling you guys that they understand that we are gods, and the secrets to the 3, the 6, and the 9 is locked within our DNA. I got a lecture coming up on the number 9, but let's stay focused, okay? So, it's broken up into 3 parts, people. Ancient, medieval, and modern times, okay? Now we're finna find out what is considered ancient history and medieval history and modern history, all right? And keep in mind the faces y'all about to see. Pay attention, okay? Keep these faces. Pay attention to the pigmentations, all right? Let's go. Let's do it. We got to take our time and work through this, y'all. We can't laugh and joke right now. That's for later on. Let's stay focused, all right? Now, what was ancient history? This is the question, y'all. What was ancient history and how long did it last? Okay? Here a little picture. You pull up ancient history. Ancient history lasted from 3000 BC to 500 AD. Hold on. Let's fix that on command. Because that wasn't like that, y'all. See, that's how the agents be working, though. I told you they be manipulating things, tampering with the computers. Don't want y'all to see information, freezing lives, blocking my live button. This how y'all got to know what I'm telling y'all is factuals. Y'all have to know that y'all gods and goddesses. All right, and this history religion spell finna be the breaking point today for a lot of y'all. All right, so stay focused. We continuing on, class. What was ancient history and how long did it last? All right, 3000 BC to 500 AD, and let's go look it up on Wikipedia though. We not going. Let's go see what Wikipedia have to say about what is ancient history. All right, let's put it in. There we go. All right, what is ancient history? All right, what is Wikipedia saying? All right, ancient history. Ancient history. The history of the ancient civilizations of the Mediterranean area and the Near East up to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. They telling you that this is what ancient history is. Now let's click on Wikipedia. Let's see what Wikipedia got to say about ancient history. All right. What does Wikipedia have to say about ancient history? Okay. Let's read it. I'm only going to read the first paragraph for y'all. Y'all going to have to read the rest on y'all own. This is what is ancient history, though. Pay attention. Okay. Because we know that history is divided into 3 time periods. Hold on. History is divided into 3 time periods. Ancient, medieval, modern, and then contemporary. So really it's 4. But contemporary is considered a part of modern history. We're going to break that down too today in the class. But we at the top of the pyramid right now on history, y'all. We just on history right now. You know, we just finding out, you know, the basics right now, okay? So now we know that it led to ancient history coming up. So let's read out let's read aloud what they say ancient history is, okay? Ancient history as a term refers to the aggregate of past events from the beginning of writing and recorded human history and extended as far as post-classical history. The phrase may be used either to refer to the period of time or the academic discipline. The span of recorded history is roughly 5,000 years, beginning with the Sumerian cuneiform script with the oldest coherent text from about 2600 BC. Ancient history covers all continents inhabited by humans, there go that word humans again, in a period of 3000 BC to 500 AD. So hold on. I just wanted to show y'all real quick, for anybody that thought I was lying, that ancient history is, and how long did it last, was a period that lasted 3000 BC to 500 AD, right? This what they say, y'all. This what they are saying. Keep in mind, y'all. This is what, y'all? History. His version of the story. So we're using his version of the story to break down how his motherfucking ass be lying. All right? And why y'all need to stop believing his motherfucking ass and voting for his motherfucking ass. Facts. All right? Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. All right? So, ancient history. Now, these beings, human beings have only been in creation for 6,000 years. So notice anytime in history, they're going to always stay around that 6,000 year mark. All right. They've only been on this planet 500 years, but they've only been in creation 6,000 years. And the years only apply to them. Remember, we are beyond time. We are before time. All right. Time is something for them. All right. If you've been keeping up with my lectures. OK, so let's stay focused. All right. Now, the span of recorded history is roughly 5,000 years. All right. And they say that it begins, ancient history covers all continents inhabited by who? Humans. We are not humans. OK. Ancient history, once again, covers all continents inhabited by humans. So he's not lying to you when he's telling you that. But he's lying to you because he has you thinking that you are also a human, and you are not. OK. You have nothing to do with his story. OK. But let's keep going through his story. OK. So his ancient story lasts from 3000 BC to 500 AD, okay? The broad term ancient history is not to be confused with classical antiquity, all right? The term classical antiquity is often used to refer to Western history. We know what Western is. Who is Western? The Americas, all right? Who conquered the West? Spain, all right? Let's stay focused, though. Western history in the ancient Mediterranean from the beginning of recorded Greek. Remember, I told y'all they can't go past Greek, okay? They will never go past Greek. Greek and Roman is as far as these motherfuckers gonna go, okay? They will never go past Greek or Roman in any of their history, in any of their versions of their stories, okay, that they have been teaching us through in school, all right? Along with their religion, which is also a part of his story, all right? Let's keep going. This roughly coincides with the traditional date of the founding of Rome in 753 BC. Okay? The beginning of history of ancient Rome and the beginning of the Archaic period in ancient Greece. So we know that ancient history deals with ancient Rome and ancient Greece. All right? This is the Platonic area, okay? Which is the area of the time period of Plato. All right? This is why they're saying, although the ending date of ancient history is disputed, some who? What scholars, people? Pay attention. What scholars? Western. Hold on before we keep motherfucking going. We getting deep today. I ain't gonna fuck around, y'all. We not jumping past no words. We not hopscotching. We not tic-tac-toeing on past nothing. You don't like it, take your ass off live, exit the university now. Now. You feel me? Because y'all know me, I be charged. If I'm laid back, I'm laid back. Hey, I'm laid back for a reason, y'all. I'm laid back now for a reason because when I go, I'm gone. Y'all know when I go, I'm gone. We gone. We not going to fuck with them today. Okay? We breaking the bullshit down. Because see, some of us will read that at home on our own and to go all past that. We can't keep jumping past how Western civilization and this is being written and known by Western history. And although the ending date of ancient history is disputed, some Western scholars, use the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, which is the closure of the Platonic Academy in 529 AD. All right? So, let's focus on that. What they mean? What they talking about? Break it down, Rashad. I don't get it. It's okay. I'm here for you. Because see, this is the end of the 500-year invasion, y'all. We rise now. Like I said in that status, no more man-made laws, no more religions, no more lies, no more false gods, no more fake superpowers. What has the Roman Empire been since ancient history? A superpower, all right? Is America not the descendants of the Roman Empire and the Greek Empire? These people run the whole goddamn world. These are the same people. They came and landed and they went under different names too. USA and Greek Empire and the Roman Empire and France and Great Britain and Russia. No, they are all the same people. Okay? And I'm telling y'all that blacks and Latinos is gods, right? And some black people like Latinos, why they merge with us. Stay focused today. See, don't ask no motherfucking questions you ain't ready to find out the answers to. Because it get deep. It'll have you lost in the sauce when you've been lied to your whole life. We've been lied to and programmed our whole life. And don't no more Latino brothers and goddesses and gods hit me talking about we ain't black. After we get to the bottom of this bullshit today. Called the history/religion spell. Alright? Yeah. Because if the question was asked, be ready to receive the answer. I don't care if there's 3 people left in here. That's who needed to hear it. Because we ain't fucking around today. See, I love questions. All I ask is that you listen to the answer. And then go research. And then meditate and let God in, which is yourself. There is no power higher than yourself if you are black or Latino. Facts. There is no power higher than you. Alright? So, I understand that we suffer from this history religion spell where we believe that blacks and Latinos are not connected, are not one, and that we don't really understand what history is. Okay? So, right now, we're on ancient history, which we got to by looking up what is history, which led to prehistory, which is mentioned in that definition. So, we had to go look up what is prehistory. All right? And then that led to universal history. So we Wikipedia, what is universal history? See, we researching, we digging. You see, we just asking questions right now. We just asking questions before we get on their ass. All right? We just asking questions right now. This is the questions part. I just want to free. Because see, to my guys and goddesses that tune into these lectures and y'all reach out and y'all take this serious, listen, all I want to do, I don't want no money from y'all. I don't want none of that from y'all. All I want to do is free y'all minds. That's all I want to do. I'm just here to help free your mind. To give you back the power that belongs to you that's within you already. All right? That's been taken from you through these lies called history and religion. Okay? But let's stay focused. We still focused. I'm just breaking it down. All right? We're going to do a lot of breaking it down today. All right? Let's keep going. So, we know that ancient history covers the Western Roman Empire, the Greek period, ancient Greece. We see it, class, ancient Greece. Okay? We know what ancient history covers. Oh, there goes Charlemagne the God sellout ass. Y'all see where he got his name from? On the rise of Charlemagne. That's the end of ancient and classical European history. That's a whole nother lecture, but I'm just saying. You'll be surprised where a lot of these celebrities and Hollywood people get their names from and why they name themselves that and why they are successful in those walks of life. Because they're paying homage to certain things. But let's stay focused, though. All right? So, we know what ancient history is. We know what time period it covers, all right? We know now, okay? We know what ancient history really was. Let's keep going. We know what ancient history really was, class. Let's keep going. All right. Now, remember, it broke down into 3 periods. Ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay, so what is... This is our next question. In trying to break this, find out what this history/religion spell really is. Share this live, start watch parties if you haven't did it. We ain't come to fuck around today, all right? We finna get real deep. We gonna run the whole 4 hours, you hear me? Let's do it, all right? Now, what is medieval history and how long did it last? All right? Medieval history lasted 500 CE to 1500 CE, all right? This is a little picture of what was going on during their medieval history, all right? Look at what color are they? Okay, just stay focused, keep pigmentations. I didn't make that picture up. That's a real picture, you know what I'm saying? So let's stay focused. We got to find out. We know what ancient history is, all right? What is medieval history? They call it the Middle Ages sometimes, okay? Medieval history, okay? All right, medieval history, y'all. But hold on. They might not give it to y'all how I want them to give it to y'all. So hold on, let me put it in. Because the Middle Ages, medieval history, same thing. But now I want to put it in directly, y'all. I want y'all to see this. I need y'all to see this. Y'all need to see what y'all think, what y'all a part of when y'all talking about history and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? When y'all think y'all saying y'all history is Americans and Latin Americans and African Americans. No. We going to decode why we gods. All right? Let's go. So what is medieval history? What is medieval history? That's the question we want. That's the question we asking. All right? All right? Here we go. All right? All right, the Middle Ages, the medieval period of European history between the fall of the Roman Empire and the beginning of the Renaissance are sometimes referred to as the Dark Ages, okay? So they telling us that medieval history is the Dark Ages. We know what was going on in the Dark Ages. All right, hold on. We're going to keep going, though. All right? Why is medieval history important? Let's see what they saying. They say the history of medieval Europe is the foundation of Western civilization. Hold on. Now, if anybody want to know, for, anybody, because this is the question we on right now. What is medieval history and how long did it last? Okay. So for anybody that want to know, if you curious, like, why are we even talking about medieval history and shit? That's the reason why I walked out of class when I was in high school. And that's the reason why right now you don't know that you a god or a goddess. All right. And we too grown for that type of shit. All right. So let's see what they had to say. Why is medieval history so important, people? The history of medieval Europe is the foundation of Western civilization. All right? So knowing it will help us to understand where the governments, economies, institutions, and culture of the United States and Europe originated and evolved from. For anybody in class, it's like, why are we talking about medieval history? Yeah, because all of this is finna connect, all right? So we asked them, why is medieval history important? And they told us that the history of medieval Europe is the foundation of Western civilization, all right? So knowing it will help us to understand where the governments, and that means today, economies today, institutions today, culture, and the culture of the United States and Europe originated and evolved from. Okay? This is why medieval history is so important. All right? Now, hold on though. It get a little deeper than that though in medieval history, y'all. It get a little deeper than that. Hold on, we not gonna act like it don't. All right? It get way deeper because I want y'all to see something. Hold on. With medieval history. Because, see, guess what else started in medieval history, people? If you don't know, if you didn't know, religion. Religion also started during medieval times, people. Religion, okay? Religion started during medieval times. All right, hold on. And it started with Islam. All right? Started with Islam. Boom. Here we go. Religious beliefs in the Eastern Empire and Iran were in flux during the late 6th and early 7th centuries. Judaism was an active faith and at least one Arab political leader converted to it. Christianity had active missions competing with the Persians. All right? So what they trying to tell you right here is this. All right? During the medieval time, this is when all your religions came into, your Judaism, your Christianity, your Islam, okay? All of this came to people during medieval times. I repeat, religion, all right? Christianity, all of it. Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, all of it started during medieval times. And you can go to Wikipedia, research more for yourself, all right, about medieval times, all right? But somebody said, what about the Hebrew Israelites? Hebrew Israelites is a part of what? Religion, all right? We covering history and religion today, All right? So religion, all right, started during medieval times. Okay? Medieval times, people. All right? If you did not know that already. All right? The Middle Ages is one of the three major periods in the most enduring scheme for analyzing European history. During the Middle Ages, first appears in Latin in 1469. All right? That's what they telling you. Medieval writers delved history such as or the four empires and considered their time to be the last before the end of the world when referring to their own times. They spoke of them as being modern. All right? The most commonly given start point for the Middle Ages is around 500, with the date of 476 first used by Bruni. Later starting dates are sometimes used in the outer parts of Europe. For Europe as a whole, 1500 is often considered to be the end of the Middle Ages. Keep these dates in mind. All right? I told y'all they came and landed 1492 and conquered our planet. Okay? So keep in mind that during hold on. When they actually came and landed 1492, they're telling that time started in the medieval ages. All right? All throughout like ancient history, they're telling you that they've been here longer than they've been here. All right? Hold on. Let me show y'all something. Let's go back to the PowerPoint real quick. We got to touch on this before we just jump past it. Keep in mind that when we looking at what was ancient history, they say ancient history is from 3000 BC to 500 AD. All right, keep that in mind. All right. Then when you looking up medieval history, this is when all religions was started during the medieval times. All right, this is where all governments, the whole form of government and all that was started during medieval times. All right, and that was from 500 CE to 1500 CE. But check this out. All right, we under Middle Ages on Wikipedia. All right, and when we write here on terminology, right? Let me show you something. Notice they say for Europe as a whole, 1500 is often considered to be the end of the Middle Ages. Okay, so medieval times, like what they saying is, I'll tie that together in a minute. I don't want to lose y'all. Let's stay focused. All right, but there is no universally agreed upon end date. Depending on the context, events such as the conquest of Constantine by the Turks in 1453. Christopher Columbus' first voyage to the Americas in 1492. So when they tell you Christopher Columbus first came here in 1492, they not lying about that. But the whole him sailing across the goddamn ocean and all that, that's a lie. He didn't go across the ocean of the sea. He went across the ocean of the cosmos, all right? But we're going to get into all that in the origin story. Let's stay focused on his story, all right? So let's go back to the PowerPoint. All right. So we know that during medieval history, all right, because history is broken up into three parts, all right, we know that during medieval history, this is where we get religion from and our whole social structure. Governments, stay focused. Now, what is modern history and how long did it last? They say that modern history was from 1492 or 1500 to 1945. Keep in mind, they landed in 1492. So what they telling us is ancient history, and what they telling us is ancient history, and what they're telling us is medieval history is a lie. Okay? They just got here, people, in 1492. I repeat. And this is what they call a modern history. Okay? So what they telling us is ancient history and medieval history, that didn't happen at all. Okay? That happened, but they wasn't as here as long as they saying they been here. Okay? Let's stay focused. Let's keep going, all right? But modern history, 1492 or 1500 to 1945. Now let's bag out and let's see what Google, what Wikipedia, got to say about this. All right? Stay focused. What is modern history? All right, because these are the three phases that history is broken up into. That they say history is broken up into. Their history. Their version of his story is broken up into, okay? Okay, modern history. Let's go. All right. Hold on, let's pull it up. All right. So from 1492, all right, they telling you right now, modern history is the history of the world beginning after the Middle Ages. Generally, the term modern history refers to the history of the world since the advent of the Age of Reason and the Age of Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries and the beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Now, if you've been keeping up in my last class, we already touched the Industrial Revolution when we was going over the food spell, okay? But it was big, so notice that's why it's mentioned in modern history as well. All right, the Industrial Revolution, if you wasn't keeping up, is where you get all your job structure from up to date, people. All right, gods and goddesses. All right, I just got to show y'all we going through history, so stay focused. All right, so they said in modern history, it's the history of the world beginning after the Middle Ages. We already know what the Middle Ages was. All right, we just went over that. All right, so the early modern times lasted from the end of the 15th century, 1492, like I said, to the Industrial Revolution at the end of the 18th century, all right? Modern times are the period from Enlightenment in the 18th century until today, okay? That's what they call it, the Enlightenment period, because they learned a lot from us before and used it against us. And then they took all the enlightenment that we gave them, all right? All the enlightenment that we gave them and used it against us, all right? So this is why they call it the Enlightenment age, okay? I'll say that again. Everything that we taught them, all right, they then used against us in this fake Enlightenment age during the 18th century. Because remember, they landed in 1492. All right. They landed in 1492 on our planet, people. Okay. And when they landed in 1492, they warred with us. And I got this coming up in my lecture, so I don't want to give y'all too much of the story, but I have to because y'all hearing his version of the story. Now it's time to hear your ancestors' version of the story. You get what I'm saying? And it's gonna make more sense what happened. Like, so when they landed in 1492, these beings warred with us all the way to what they call 1775, which is when they took over. Okay? So once they took over in 1775, they set up their United States of America, all right? They divided Atlantis into 7 continents: North America, South America, Russia, Africa, and gave it all these Caucasian names, all right? They divided Atlantis into 7 different continents, okay? And everything that they learned from us, that they had got all the information that they had got, that they went after they destroyed us. They went around to our universities and destroyed our ancient universities, killed off the Amazonian goddess, killed off a lot of our ancestors. That's why the whole Antarctic is frozen right now. All right. So while they was going around pillaging us after they had made us fall in frequency and fall in dimension, remember, all right, once we failed, 1776 is when they went about rounding us up. Okay. So notice that in Wikipedia, when they're telling you modern times are the period from Enlightenment in the 18th century until today, because they are still applying all the lessons that they learned from us against us. Like I keep telling you, all these spells, if you've been keeping up, food spell, time spell, all these spells are ancient spells that originate from us, okay? I see you trying to come in, Missy, but just wait till the end of the class. I'm going to pull people in for questions and stuff like that, all right? Now, if you just dive into ancient history and modern history on your own and medieval times on your own, I mean, I'm talking about their version, right? It dives so deep, all right? So I can't turn this into like a 3-month course on American history. You could do that on your own. But I'm going to touch the 3 main points, and we're going to tie it together with how it applies to us and how they have been using this spell on us. Because this is what they teach you in school. This is what they taught us in school. American history, right? And overseas, they teach other gods and goddesses, blacks and Latinos, if you want to call them that, the same thing about world history. So we have to find out history and what does it cover and what's the true meanings before we just attack their version of history. All right, so that's what we're doing right now. All right, so let me show y'all the camera. Let me flip it again. Keep sharing the live, y'all. Keep sharing the live. You know, start watch parties, okay? But modern times are the period from Enlightenment in the 18th century until today. All right? This is what they tell us. Hold on. Let me flip it back around. This is what they tell us modern times is. There we go. Modern history. See it? That's modern history. That's why I got a picture of Dr. King, because he would be an example of modern history. All right? All right? Well, actually not, because he's 1945. But he would be an example of after modern history. All right, which is what we're going to next, which is this contemporary history. Okay, so contemporary history, you see the man on the moon. All right, the moon landing would be a part of an example of something that's considered contemporary history, along with that picture of Dr. King that I just had up. All right, I repeat, this picture I just had up of Dr. King is not an example of modern history, because modern history lasted 1492 to 1945. This would be an example of contemporary history, okay? That picture, so y'all don't get confused. And this moon landing would be an example of contemporary history, okay? So what is contemporary history? 1945 to the present, okay? So let's see what Wikipedia has to say about contemporary history before we go off what I'm saying. All right? Let's just see what Wiki has to say. Let's see what she has to say, people. Contemporary history. Cause I'm just a guy with an afro asking questions. Let them tell it. We just dumb black people and Latino people. Let them tell it. All right. What is contemporary history? What does Wikipedia has to say? All right. We don't want to do all that. We just want to get straight to the point. Contemporary history in English language is subset of modern history. Is a subset of modern history that describes the historical period from approximately 1945 to the present. That's all I wanted y'all to see, so y'all can know I wasn't lying to y'all about that part of contemporary history. Once again, contemporary history is a subset of modern history, like we was just saying on the slide, that describes the historical period from approximately 1945 to the present. So, I like to just back up a little bit of what I'm saying with a little bit of their research before we start getting all the way in their ass like we're about to do. Hold on, let's keep going. Because we working through this. We figuring out little by little what history is, okay? All right? So 1945 to present. All right? The reptilian/human hierarchy realizes they are stuck on planet Kai and that they will not be able to break the dome, which was ancient technology of the Anunnaki gods who had created the planet. All right? This also happened during 1945. All right? All right? Because from hold on, for those who might have seemed lost, all right? Remember, they came and landed, all right? When they landed on our planet in 1492, all right? They landed on our planet in 1492. They came to our planet through portals in the Caucasus Mountains, all right? They war with us for a couple hundred years of their years, because years do not exist. We are before time. We are gods and goddesses. I keep telling y'all this. We are before their human-made time construct. All right? So when they came and landed on our planet in 1492, they war with us to 1776. And if you've been keeping up, I've been teaching you guys about how, notice how in 1776, that's the year when 1775 is when the war ended. They completely defeated us. All right? All our ancestors that we had in the Antarctic, they killed them. That's why the Antarctic froze up like that. All right? The Antarctic, if you've been keeping up, I broke that down a little bit too. Literally, the Antarctic blocks is literally carbon. So the Antarctic blocks is nothing but literally the fossilized DNA of our ancestors that was over there. All right? But we're going to get deeper though. Okay? But I want to zero in on this part about the reptilian human hierarchy realizes that they are stuck on planet Kai and that they will not be able to break the dome, which was ancient technology of the Anunnaki gods who had created the planet. All right, I want to touch on that a little bit because, see, contemporary history is very important. The reason I kept telling y'all to focus on these times. Remember, I've been saying timelines. You know what I'm saying? Which we know time don't exist, but you have to focus on the timeline that they are using because, remember, I told you, time is how long they have been away from their home planet. So when we talking years, when you saying 1776, that's how many years they have been from their home planet. When you talking the year 2020, that's how many years they have been from their home planet. Like, they use the years to cycle how long they have been away from their home planet. All right? So in 1945, all right, from 1776 all the way to 1944, they have already defeated us. Now they are draining the planet of its resources. They had cut our real trees down, shipped a lot of those resources back through portals back to their planet, right? They had already made the gods and goddesses shrink in size. They had already came up with this plan, this industrial revolution. If you've been keeping up, right, I'm tying everything together for y'all. They had already came with this industrial revolution to drain us of more energy. Remember, it's a frequency war, people. If you've been keeping up, I've been telling you, we are not our bodies, all right? We are not our bodies. So I'm breaking down how this history bullshit is a fucking spell. Just keep up, all right? So you need to know that in 1945, something else that happened was that these human beings, along with the human being hierarchy, along with these reptilians, realized that they could not get through the dome. Notice, hasn't NASA always showed you, they said they went to the moon. They never went to the fucking moon, okay? They never, look, when they did this, they never went to the moon, people, all right? It's supposed to be zero gravity on the moon. How was he walking, all right? It's supposed to be zero gravity on the moon. How the fuck is they planting flags? You can just think of basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? If it's zero gravity, the flag should float. But y'all planted that motherfucker, didn't y'all? Right. Because the moon landing was a hoax. They shot that shit in the Hollywood studio in California. I'm exposing it all. I don't give a fuck who get upset. All right? I'm stating esoterical facts. They have never left the dome since they came here. They landed on our planet in 1492, people. In 1492, them bitches landed. Okay? In their 1492, they landed. All right? They landed. They used the Pleiadians. All right? We invited the Pleiadians on our planet. We showed them things. We taught them technology. We taught them all about us. All right? They brought the human beings. We already knew about the human beings because we knew what Zeus had did. Satan had did. We knew. We remembered. But we didn't have time. We had energy cycles. But we were aware of the time spell because it was a spell created by the Anunnaki, by us, but for different realities. Okay? Hold on, bear with me. The time spell was created by us for different realities. Okay? So we were aware of these things. Now, when they brought these human beings back, these human beings couldn't even stand upright. Right? When they first came out the caves, they couldn't stand upright. The gods and goddesses of Atlantis, because all of this was Atlantis, okay? All of this was Atlantis, right? We assigned a section of us to watch over the human beings to help civilize them, to try to get them back to their godlike form. That's what we were trying to do. So at that point, you only had the Pleiadians on the planet along with the human beings. The human beings, they only stood as big as they get now, 6 feet tall, about as tall as they was. Remember, we stood up to 100 feet tall, some of us. On average, we stood between 50 to 80 feet. We are those giants they tell you about. All those fossils they dig up and shit in history, because we breaking down the history spell, in the religious spell today. So we attacking all this shit, all right? But we are those fossils. You never heard them even in their Bible, in their man-made Bible. They didn't write about the dinosaurs, did they? No, they did not. You never heard them talk about dinosaurs, did you? Because they never existed. Those are bones, our bones. And they can't tell you that that was you and that you were bigger because the planet was higher in frequency and in dimension. So the animals was bigger. If you've been keeping up, I've been posting pictures showing you guys these different animals and how huge they was, all right? Bones they dig of us all the time to keep the truth away from you about who and what you really are. They want you to believe that you're a black person, a Latino. They want you to believe you're an African American, a Latin American. They want you to believe you're an African, a Southern American. All right? We delving deep today. All right? Because I don't want to lose nobody. I don't want nobody saying, hold on, what do you mean the reptilians and the human hierarchy? What they mean they stuck? Yeah, them bitches stuck. They landed, right? Hijacked our planet. Because y'all know their version of history. So let's listen to this one. We never heard this one, right? We ain't never heard this one. So let's hear a different one. And then you go meditate and let God in. And you come back and let me know what conclusion you come to. Because we the same. I'm you, you, me. Alright? I ain't got time to be wasting time sitting on live lying to you now. We know time is being broken, which is why it's speeding up so quick. That's why the days is flying, because the time spell is being broken. Yeah. The planet is rising. The police are going defunct. Let them tell it. No, it's just over with. Okay? So, like I say, in 1945, the reptilians, they realized that they couldn't break the dome. All the missiles they always shoot, when they show you NASA sending fucking space shuttles up into space. No, they don't. They be curving. Go do a little research. They curve. They rotate the camera away from you right before it curves. They can't crack the dome. The firmament that they talk about in their Bible, go read Genesis. And he separated the waters above from the waters below and placed the firmament between them. That's them talking about the electromagnetic field that was locked around the plane after they landed and hijacked it. And they defeated a lot of our ancient ancestors. Facts. And when they defeated our ancestors, what they did not know is that the ancestors still left a certain spell intact. It was designed for us to reawaken after so many years. This was all part of the counter spell that the ancestors put against them for the planet to reawaken and for us to rise again. Yeah, that's how they was able to write about it in Revelations in their Bible. They already knew. So from 1776, that's why they started documenting their years more. And from 1776, they from all the way to 1945, they was trying to get off the motherfucking planet. They still got their CERN machines, all right? Go research CERN, all right? Which allows them to blast holes, all right, into space. They still got CERN. Go research it. CERN. Write it down. Everybody, if y'all take me serious, help me out. Let me know that y'all learn and that y'all really enlightening yourselves, because I love y'all. That's why I'm here today. All right? And we all love each other. That's why we're here today. CERN. C-E-R-N. CERN. They still use this program to blast holes. Black holes, which they use to go to different galaxies. Go research it yourself. All right? So, before you just cast it off as a lie, no, the truth is stranger than fiction. Because, see, we still on contemporary history. And when I get to tying all this shit together, y'all gonna be like, oh, shit, yeah. A lot of shit gonna be like, huh, what, Y, wow, X, Y, Z, yeah. All right? So, at the end of the day, in 1945, which will be the contemporary history part, this is why they call it that, because they realized we cannot leave the planet. The dome is sealed, so they can't get out. So they've been stuck here since 1945. That's when and hold on. Let's flip the camera around. Alright. They've been stuck here since 1945, people. They then, once they seen that they could not leave the planet because of this dome, they then began to usher in the implementation of more weapons such as the TV, which I have a lecture coming up on, STDs, the spread of drugs, world wars, cartoons to attack the minds of the youth, and the entertainment industry to blind and entrap the soul. All right? Let me bring it back. All right? 1945, they realized that they cannot get off the planet, right? They know, now listen, keep in mind, they already know about the counterspell. They already know that we were going to shift again. They already know this was temporary in time. All right? So now, once they see that they can't get off the planet, in 1945, they begin to implement more weapons against us. This is why after 1945, they came with a TV. Notice all these inventions that came out all of a sudden. The TV. All of a sudden, STDs hit the world. All of a sudden, it was the spread of drugs. All right? Of drugs. Drugs just hit in the 80s, right? Since I'm lying, somebody that he lying. You know, that's an agent. It's always going to be an agent there like, he lying. Yeah, that's the way. He lying. Yeah, he's lying. Yeah, okay. But think about it, y'all. Y'all got a soul. Y'all got to think about it. I just told y'all in 1945, that's when they realized their contemporary history, which they still say from 1945 to present, they've officially realized they could not get back off the planet. All right? So what they started to do to us, all right, implement more weapons to attack us on a metaphysical level to hinder us from doing what? Remembering, all right, which bought them more time to try to do what? Get the fuck off the planet. All right? Facts. Facts. All right? So what did they do? They then begin to usher in the implementation of more weapons, such as the TV, STDs. And if you'll notice, after 1945, anybody go look it up, all of a sudden, here come the TV, Here come STDs out the blue. All of a sudden, here come all the drugs, crack, cocaine, everything, heroin. Everything started taking, because opium comes from the opium plant, which naturally doesn't hurt you if you just go take the actual, deal with the actual opium from the actual opium plant. They take the opium plant and put chemicals with it and called it heroin. Just like the cocaine plant grows naturally. And then it was used for different reasons, but then you mix it with chemicals and it turns to crack. All right? So at the end of the day, that's what the fuck they did. So here comes crack. Here comes heroin. All right? Here come all your man-made, your Percocets, your Oxycontins, all that shit come. All of a sudden your world wars speed up. It's been way more world wars since 1945 to the present than before it. All right? And we gonna dive into some of this shit. All the cartoon writers. Here comes Hollywood with the Hollywood. Here comes Playboy. All right? So they begin to usher in the implementation of more weapons such as the TV, STDs, the spread of drugs, world wars, cartoons to attack the minds of the youth, of the young gods and goddesses, and the entertainment industry to entrap and blind the soul, to attack the metaphysical you. All right? Now think about this. How did people act from what you know about what you were taught about the slaves during slavery, ancient slavery time? Did you ever see the slaves killing each other? Did you ever see that black slave male disrespecting that black slave woman and looking at her as nothing but a bitch? And they was physically enslaved during that time. This was after we had failed, right? But from what we know about ancient slavery, did you go watch Roots? Did you ever see, this was pre-1945, right? Did you ever see that black slave disrespect his woman? Did you ever see that black woman say, I don't need no nigga, fuck him? Did you ever see the family not being together? Did you ever see them not having morale and unity and love amongst each other? They had all that. Now today, what the fuck do motherfuckers have? Yeah, you're not physically shackled and you're not picking content because they got you on a bigger level. They got you metaphysically now, and physically and mentally now, and spiritually, and you got your fucking soul. Alright? So that's why they ain't had no problem taking the goddamn shackles off you, because they got everything else that's more important. And from 1945 on back, you see a difference amongst us as well, amongst the black and Latino family. All around the world. All around the world. All around the world, people. Alright? But this is why they started implementing more weapons to attack us, to attack the unity. Alright? And then we talking the 1950s hit, 1950s, 60s, which is not that far from 1945, right? What we have? We have the civil rights movement. We have all these things going on where people are coming together, uniting in the communities, right? Right? That's what was going on. So they had to speed up the implementation of everything else, right? Because why? If they don't do that, then we rise way before now. We rise way before now. We were rising then, okay? That's why every time people want to talk about, people want to talk about, hey, the solution is we need to go vote. What? That's been tried for years. What the fuck has changed? Nothing. Since everybody talk about the solution is black people need to help themselves and we need to get our own banks and we need to get our... I know you ain't looking at history. You must have never heard of Rosewood. The town in Florida, one of the many of towns that did try to do it their way. What happened to Rosewood when they tried to do it the human beings way with the newer way in the 1920s with the suits and ties and go get a bank and all that and live in these prisons? Even when they broke us down and we mastered their motherfucking banks and prisons, what happened? They came and attacked Rosewood. Ain't no more Rosewood. It's a sign on the motherfucking road on the way to Florida. Facts. That's what Rosewood is now. But go watch the movie. Go watch the movie. Go look up Rosewood. All right? Which was a thriving African-American community. All right? Back in the 20s. And them white people were so fucking jealous of town over, they couldn't understand how that they built their community so thriving with their own doctors and hospitals and banks and schools and judges and shit. And what they do? They went over there, burnt that shit up and killed all them people. Ain't no more Rosewood to this day. I said it's just a sign on the motherfucking road. If you think I'm being funny, I'm not. I'm serious. All right? That's what happened to us when we tried to do it their way. History has proven that, okay? What's another group of us that try to do it their way? Black Wall Street. Did they not come along later and also master the human, beat them at their own game, start their own community, own banks, everything? Everything. Got the dollar circulating within the community. What did the USA do? What they do? What they do? Blew that motherfucker up. Man, y'all better wake up. Ain't no doing it they way. You will never win. They don't want you to win. They conquered you. They came and landed on your planet and conquered you. And this would, if you black and Latino, you have to recognize this while we talking about history. All right? For those who forget, for those of us who don't know, and for those of us who forget, all right? We have seen what have happened when black and Latino people try to do it the American way. Beat them at their own game. All right? Beat them at their own game, and what happens? They still come and destroy us. Why? Because they are not gods and goddesses. They are human beings. They have animal DNA. Period. Animal DNA. Pay attention, class. Pay attention to what I'm saying to y'all. Animal motherfucking DNA is what they have. Alright? So, when we talking about change, the only change that we lacking is knowledge of self, which I'm giving y'all today. Alright? And not just me, it's more people putting out videos and knowledge. I told y'all create y'all own videos and start spreading information. Because we're rising. The 500-year invasion is over with, my people. Alright? But a lot of y'all might not know that in 1945, these reptilian shapeshifters, alright, along with these human beings, the hierarchy realized that they were stuck on this planet and they could not get off. So that's why they started speeding up the implementation of more weapons to hinder and hold us back. They know they can defeat us, just hold us back. Even when they kill your avatar, they know that they are only killing the avatar. All right? Because I keep telling you, I got the creation story coming up. I got the next lecture. It's going to be about the creation story. So when you're hearing about Octerians and Reptilians and Pleiadians and the Greys and the Zeta Greys and the Blue Avians and, you know, all these different names that is not familiar to you because it has been kept hidden from you. This is why this is called the University of Cosmic Intelligence. All right? You ain't got to be a part of the CIA to find out what's going on. Just come in this university and we're going to get real deep. And you ain't got to believe because it is what it is. This ain't about belief. You looking around the world. You seeing California going up in flames. I told y'all what that's about. All right? I ain't lied to y'all yet. Y'all see the locusts that's still on their way here. That's already working through South America. I've been telling y'all about preparing for food shortages for now until before we shift. I'm telling y'all all this stuff for a reason. All right? I'm helping y'all break these spells. Don't take this shit as no joke. I'm being honest with you. Dive into yourself. All right? So, you got to understand that these beings that run our planet, man, this planet is not what you think. It is not what you think. We have been lied to. Reality is fake. Science fiction is real. I repeat, reality is fake. Science fiction is real. The shit they telling us is not real is real. But you got to think, what was Satan's greatest trick? Fooling the whole world that he didn't exist. So if I want to come and conquer some people and make them think that I'm not real, I'm going to tell you left is right when right is really left. So it makes sense. It makes sense why they would flip everything backwards to us, but they do. But it's imperative that we get an understanding. Let's stay focused, class, though. It's imperative that we get an understanding on, before we keep going, what is history, okay? Which we looked at. What is prehistory? Look at the faces when they talking about history, y'all. All right? And you can Google this shit on your own. You're going to get the same faces, okay? What is universal history? Ancient, medieval, modern, broken up into 3 different time frames, okay? What are the 3 types of history? All right? That's what we will let's stay for, okay, in case you forgot where we at. What are the 3 types of history? All right, that led us to this. Universal history. All right, what is universal history? Universal history is ancient, medieval, and modern. Okay, that led us to what was ancient history. We found out what ancient history was and the time frame it was given. I told you guys that they lied about ancient history. They ain't never existed. They have no ancient history on this planet outside of when they landed in 1492. What is medieval history? Medieval history is the period when they came with their whole governmental structure, all right, when they created religion, all right, that led us into what?
Peace to the gods and goddesses of the planet God. Peace, meaning positive energy always creates elevation. Peace to all the high vibration human beings. Peace to the ancestors for working through me. If you wish to see this full video, please head over to our official online website, www.theuci.online, and click on the video tab. Also, you can click, the shortcut to this video is to click the link below. It will be in the pinned comment in the comment section below. You can click the link and it will take you directly to this video so that you can watch this full video. Please be sure to continue to spread the message via social media using hashtags on TikTok, Rashad Jamal, and hashtag free Rashad Jamal. Be sure to continue. Thank you for everyone that's donating to the university and for those who are subscribing to the online website. And to purchase official crystals, please visit the website as well. I love you all. I'll be home soon. Now we rise. I leave as I come. Ashe.